policies that shapes the future. My name is Abimbola Shakiro Majolagbe, and I'm here in the studio with no other person than the soothing and velvety voice behind the microphone.
Velvet voice.
Yeah.
My name is Taiwo Barua.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Yeah.
Lagos.
So on today's program, we are going to be spotlighting on the aquatic farmers. You know, Lagos is a coastal zone, and then the farmers, how they navigate, the problems they face across the 5 divisions of Lagos State. When we talk about the weather resilience, the weather pattern, the climate, the flooding, water hyacinth, and many more. And then they still do that every day to put food on the average Nigerian table. And so to join us today, I have a representative from the Lagos State Agricultural Development Authority, which is the arm of the implementation arm of the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems. I'm honored to have today in the studio, Dr. Isaiah Oladipo Opadokun, who is a technical head from LSADA. We call him the voice of the farmer. He provides solution on extension services when we talk on supporting farmers as well as providing practical solution across the state. Welcome to Lagos Farmer. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Lagos. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Okay, so Taiwo, over to you.
All right, then. It's good to have you, Dr. Isaiah. Let's talk about water hyacinth. First, let's identify what this is. Some people would even wonder, what exactly does that even mean?
Okay, thank you so much. Water hyacinth, when you are going on our waterways, sometimes you will just see something that appear like as if you're on a field, on a football field. Don't dare it. It's not a football field at all. It appears greenish on the water. It's a floating waterweed. It is actually alien to us in this country, but it flows in from, water has no boundary, so to say. True. So it has a particular period of the year that it moves into our waterway in the country. And when it comes in, it multiplies rapidly. The way it does that, it will just form a carpet and can cut off the fishermen even from being able to navigate the water system easily. Not only that, when this happens, it happens so suddenly. The fisherman might have been on the water, far into the water, and he wouldn't be able to come back because his way would just be blocked. It causes a lot of harms. It cut off oxygen, so that even the fish inside the water, it becomes a kind of issue to our fish inside water when you cannot breathe. Just like we have atmospheric oxygen, our fish actually use the dissolved oxygen inside the water. So when this water hyacinth covers the water surface, it cuts off the oxygen. Not only that one, it's even a breeding space. It's a breeding space for some diseases. Even mosquito also, of course, it multiplies wherever you have water hyacinth in abundance. And to crown it all, it actually destroys the fishing nets of our fishermen. So it causes a lot of economic loss. The people that are using outboard engine, it affects them a lot because the propeller of the outboard engine can be destroyed when it comes in touch with this water hyacinth. So it's a big issue, it's a big problem on our waterways, not only here in Lagos, in several parts of the country.
Fantastic. I know. Like we said that the fisher folks have really been facing a lot in some time now. Yeah. Let's take us back to last year, 2025. I said about weather resilience. How has our farmers fared? We know that last year there was unprecedented rain and it actually affected our farmers. They lost a lot of millions of naira. Now we are starting the year. What do you think can be the mitigating and early warning signs, especially for the fishermen, the artisanal fishermen? What are the things that they need to guide against so that they don't come into contact with what has actually happened last year?
Okay, thank you so much. This thing is in two ways. The issue of the flood affects the fish farmers. It also affects the fishermen.
Okay.
You understand? So we have what we call cultured fisheries and we have what we call captured fisheries. So when we are looking at the aspect of flood, one of the things that we have to work towards, if we are looking at the fish farmer, is that number one, don't site your pond where there is history of flood, you know. So don't site there should be proper site selection. We have extension agents all over Lagos State. We, at least from Lagos State Agricultural Development Authority, we always teach our farmers that this is the proper way, this is the right way to do your site selection. But it's a pity that some people will just go into fish farming without contacting appropriate sources. So please, if you are going to any fish farming, don't just feel that you have a farmland that you can just use. Try to visit Lagos Agricultural Development Authority. We are available. You come to us at Okoba and we'll guide you properly on your site selection. Not only that, now suppose your own pond is there already and there is really nothing you can do. The next thing you should do is that you should stock your pond at the end of at the end of the rainy season. You know, at the onset of dry season. So probably you should be looking towards around November, December. And you will make sure you harvest your pond at the onset of heavy downpour. That is around, yes, I'm talking of earthen pond.
Okay.
It affects earthen pond much more.
Okay.
It affects earthen pond much more than concrete pond. So you try and harvest latest maybe around early May. That's when you do that, you will have at least, you know, prevention, they say, is better than cure. You will have safeguard yourself from getting affected by the flood, because no one can actually say exactly because of this climate change whether there will still be flood this year.
I was going to say that.
So because of that, it's better for you to prevent it. Not only that, well, there are other things you can as well do, which I'll be mentioning as we proceed in the course of this program.
Okay, so peradventure, for those who now get caught in that web of, flooding, certainly flood comes with a whole lot aside from the torrential, water and all of that. It comes with diseases. It comes with all sorts. So for those who get caught in this web now, how do you at LSADA, help to cushion the effect?
Okay, thank you. What we do, number one, if you, as LSADA, we liaise with other sister agencies. We actually have a particular agency in Lagos State that is saddled with the responsibility of attending to such. That's the State Emergency Management Authority.
Okay.
So we try to liaise with them whenever our farmers have such problem, so that they can come to their rescue. Not only that, we provide knowledge to our farmers so that they don't just get caught. But once the issue had happened, there is what we always preach to them: you should be insured. Insure your farm. In fact, insurance is the best way when it comes to this issue, because when flood comes, it comes with a lot of economic loss. It's got so much, and God save you if you have borrowed money from a bank. So, but if your farm is well insured, you can actually have a way out at such a time like this. Then, well, we also teach them what to do thereafter, after the flood. Okay. There are steps they have to take so that they can still utilize that particular farm. Number one, of course, the first thing is for them to clear all the debris so that they don't allow it to decay and cause oxygen problem to their aquatic organisms. So, and once that one is done, then we have something, we make sure that they test their water to make sure that the water quality is still okay for the fish they want to culture. So, and once that one is settled, then they need to repair all the damage part of the embankment of the pond, the pond embankment. They have to repair it before they can now say they are going into stocking again. Not only that, we also advise them, there are ways in which you can actually, even if there is flood, There are ways in which you can prevent it so that it will not affect your pond. So we teach them what to do on this thing too. So it's good for them to actually relate well with us at Lagos Agricultural Development Authority. So that will pass across timely information to prevent them from all the experiencing all this loss.
Okay, so let's talk about cage and pen culture.
Good.
I know it's not a new thing now, but I know that some people are doing it. But how do you see these innovative ideas, especially the artisanal fishermen, when they have issues, especially when the water hyacinth and all this occurs? How do you think the LSADA can be that intervention in training them so that when they are not able to even fish on the sea, they are able to do the pen and the cage culture to boost their income?
Thank you so much. Actually, Lagos State is on this already. I can remember that we trained some fishermen around Idale-Waleko here in Lagos towards the Badagry side, on the issue of cage culture. Cage culture, pen culture. A cage for a layman, is just an encircling net. It's like a square. So the size depends on your capacity. So it will hold in the fish and water will be passing through. It will be sighted on our water body. Water will pass through, but the fish will not be able to go out. So you go ahead and you feed your fish inside that cage. When it comes to pen, you actually sight it. The bottom of the pen is not covered. It's not protected, unlike the cage. So it is still an encircling net, but the bottom of the net is not protected. That means it is much more useful in big earthen pond to use the pen culture, while we cite the cage culture much more in open water. So for our fishermen, what we do is that we train them during such off season, because when water hyacinth that we started with, when it comes, sometimes it can last for more than 4 weeks. And that is a great economic loss. That means you cannot go you cannot go and fish. So if you have decided to come into aquaculture through pen culture or cage culture, you can stock fish. Your fish will still be growing. Without going out to fish, you will still have something to fall back on. So we try to train our fishermen on this aspect of pen culture, so that they have an alternative source to the period that they don't have opportunity to go out.
What are the
fish.
indices of this training? As you know, how are you able to measure how many people have actually adopted? Are they in line with what you've said? Do they like to do that cage and pen culture?
Okay. Well, yeah. What happened is that through our enumerators, once a while we send our enumerators to the field to actually assess the impact of this in our fishing community. To assess it, but we still have a long way to go. Is it
very expensive?
Well, the cage is a little bit expensive. So, but what we preach is that they can form themselves into cooperative.
All right.
So that when they form themselves into cooperative, group of 10, group of 20, group of 50, it becomes easier. Fishermen are not poor men. They have money, because when you go out to go and fish and you come back at once, actually it is money. So
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. You're listening to Lagos Farmer. Quickly, let's tell you what the roads are looking like within Victoria Island at this time. It's a moving traffic descending Milkwen Bridge inward Bonnie Camp, and that's due to influx. Bonnie Camp, Adiola Odeku, also a moving traffic, and coupled with that's due to alternation as well. Adiola Odeku to Amadu Bello, IMB, all the moving traffic at this time, all through to Coastal Road entrance. Beyond that point to Tiamiu Salvage, IMB, you have it on a height side, very busy one linking Eko Hotel down to the roundabout. Eko Hotel roundabout, I just said Adiogun, Ligale Yorindi, Oniru Water Corporation, all looking busy this evening. Eko Hotel roundabout to Sanusi Fafonwa, Kiadishala, very busy also. Likewise, Kofu Abayomi, Kilimanjaro. well, generally within Victoria Island at this time, you have it looking busy, and that's as a result of return journey influx, coupled with alternation. Remember, it is Friday, also not just an ordinary Friday. Okay, all right then. Lagos farmer. We still have a guest in the studio. So moving on now, let's talk about economic pressure. So with the rising cost of fuel and fish feed, the Unja Farmers Subsidy Program is a potential lifeline. Do you agree?
Yes.
Can you explain how this 25% subsidy specifically targets fish farmers, and what are the exact requirements for a local farmer to qualify for this?
Thank you. What happened is this. Lagos State, kudos to our able Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. This and our Honorable Commissioner, Ms. Abisola Olusoya, and as well as our Permanent Secretary, Mr. Emmanuel Fatai Audu. This program has really helped farmers a lot. The program is designed to subsidize fish feed, poultry feed at a 25%. So the implication of it is that if the fish feed is 10 naira, so to say, quote and unquote, you are going to pay 7 naira 50 kobo, and government will pay 2 naira 50 kobo. So, and is a lot. The main requirement, the first thing is that you must be a practicing farmer. We don't want political farmers. So because of this, deliberately, the Lagos State government decided to go through association, LASCAFAN, Lagos State Catfish Association, or an allied farmer association of Nigeria, so that they will identify practicing farmer for us. So you are going to purchase. Yes, everybody know the price. It is not something that anyone can cheat you. So you will pay, and you pay through your respective association, and then you go and collect. The government will pay the remaining 25%. It has helped, but there is a limit. We don't just leave it open. For example, the limit is 12 bags per farmer. The limit is 12 bags per farmer. It could be the 2 mm.
For how long?
Yeah, well, it was done throughout December last year. It was done throughout December last year. Hopefully, something like that is still coming up very soon this year, so to say. So, and it has helped to bring down drastically the production cost, because feed takes more than 70% of your production cost in aquaculture. So this has really helped our fish farmer by then. So, but deliberately, the government decided not to make it that you can just buy any quantity you want, so that it can go round. And to also prevent some people from buying it, ordering it, and try to resell it, then you will have defeated the purpose of the state government. Farmers are grateful. At least we can see the impact on the field. Yes, we got the feedback.
But let's get this clear now. Lagos is a coastal city,
Yes.
and from this conversation now, we're advising that canvassing against the regular bare floor kind of ponds, right? That's because of flooding. You don't want flooding.
You mean the earthen pond?
The earthen pond,
Yes.
right?
We are not really canvassing against it, but we are canvassing against siting it on waterways, places that are prone to flood.
Is there anywhere that is not prone to flood in Lagos?
We have some areas that are
Talk to me about
really
it.
prone to flood.
Talk to me about it.
There is, you say there are proper. What actually leads to flood? More. Some waterways have been blocked by debris. Every Lagosian listening to this should make sure you don't pour out your garbage, your trash into the during the rain. So that causes flood. So, but when we site our earthen pond, anywhere that once you dig 2 feet, you can get water. Such a place, you can site your earthen pond there.
Okay.
So that means the water level is high. So it does not necessarily have to be. It does not necessarily have to be very close to a flowing stream. We have some places. Generally, Lagos, our water level, there are some areas even below sea level here in Lagos. So we have such locations that people use for earthen pond, and yet it doesn't necessarily bringing the flood doesn't happen there.
In this same Lagos, there are some areas you look at the water in the sea, it looks cleaner. In some other part, it looks, on the other side of the divide. Talk to me about how to identify the best spot for your earth ponding.
To site your earthing pond. Okay, thank you. That's great. Yes, to identify the best spot to site your earthing pond. Number one, you make sure that you go and do your it has to be a place that you have studied both in the rainy season and in dry season.
Okay.
But pond construction is better done in the dry season.
Dry season, true.
The reason is that so that you can be so sure that the water will not be dry in that pond during
dry season.
Now, if you have studied the location during rainy season and it has history of flood, then it is advisable. It's a no-go area. It's a no-go area. So you don't go to such a place. So, and not only that, we look at the soil texture. We look at the soil texture. Yes, the topography. So we look at it. There are some soil that can actually hold water.
Okay.
So it's not every soil that can hold water. So you don't site earthing pond on a moving soil, quote and unquote. So these are few points. So, but when they visit us in our office, we also tell them more on what to do.
Talk to me.
Okay.
1 minute, Bimbola.
No problem.
Talk to me about soil texture and its relationship with the growth of aquatic creatures.
Okay, thank you. Now, when the soil texture, sand loamy soil is the best that we advise for earthen pond. A fish, when a fish will actually grow in any water once it is we are talking of fresh water now.
Yes.
We are talking of fresh water. It will actually grow. But you see, when you have sand loamy soil and you fertilize your pond, definitely you have some natural food that the fish can eat, so to say. So when if there is so much silt inside your pond, that means bulk of the feed that you are throwing to your fish will actually get mixed up with the silt. And because of that, it won't be available for the fish, so the fish will not grow. So that's why when you have sandy loam soil, the feed will still be useful. Your fish can easily pick your the feed before it got dissolved and got mixed up with the sand.
Okay, so I have a 2-in-1 question quickly about the water hyacinth.
Okay.
I know that some people do the transform water hyacinth into something useful.
Yes.
Is there anything that LSADA is actually doing to be able to encourage value chain actors that are coming in and utilizing the water hyacinth? And again, we always say that the youth, they play this pivotal role when it comes to agriculture. And how have you been able to encourage them, especially in the fish line, artisanal fishermen? How have you been able to encourage them to be that business people on the sea, apart from the fish farming that they do?
Okay, thank you. Quickly, let me say, number one, water hyacinth, though is a menace, but we can convert it to wealth. Number one, is very rich in protein. So that means we can convert it into feed for our livestock animals, so to say. Not only that, water hyacinth, it has some potential, even for it has some medicinal value. So there are ways in which we teach people on what to use it for. Then it can be converted to mat, to a lot of things that, for decorations, for artistic value. So then, aside that, well, let me quickly go to the aspect of encouraging our youth. In encouraging our youth, we teach them modern way of fishing, so that as our older fishermen, as they are getting out of the stage, the youth can come in. There are some technology now that youth that you should know where you can easily get fish. So we have those technology and we teach it to our youth. So this is encouraging them to come into fish farming. And finally, Lagos State is empowering them with outboard engine fishing nets and other things. This encourages them to come to fishing.
For a new fisherman or fisherwoman who gets into the business and suddenly gets caught in this water hyacinths, how can one eradicate it?
Quickly, what happened is that thank God we have a sister agency, LSADA, Lagos State
Waterways Authority.
Waterways Authority. They're actually doing a lot in this aspect. So then the fishermen in different community, because it happens sometimes, they have the means of connecting with themselves, because it's not you that you are caught up that will clear it. You can do nothing. So what they do in the fishing community is that occasionally they go ahead and they do manual clearing of this, but unfortunately this thing multiplied very fast. It's multiplied very fast. So that's why we are canvassing utilization of this water hyacinth as feed and as well as for some other good useful
In 30
purpose.
seconds, your advice to a Lagosian who intends to go into fish farming.
Yes, before you go into fish farming, you need to make sure that you contact the experts. We are available for you at Lagos Agricultural Development Authority so that you don't go into what you don't know about. We don't advise you, for example, don't stock what you cannot feed. Thank you, Lagosian. Fish farming is very profitable if you do it right.
Thank you very much for having Dr. Isaiah Oladipo Opadokun from the Lagos State Agricultural Development Authority. You know how to do best. Thank you so much. And I think that we really have an interesting time with whoever is watching us today. Lagos, we thank you. So let's do it again next week, same time. My name is Abimbola Shakiro Majolagbe.
My name is Atao Barwa. Big ups to Oluremi Aluko and the entire social media team. Massive thanks to Victor Terry. Our executive producer is Taya Konle. I remain Tao Barwa. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.